Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gaming Geezer 1965. And as promised, now is the video where I tell you about the launch of the Xbox Series X and my experience with the Xbox brand so far. It all started for me with the original one, and I didn't expect much of it. I was way into the PlayStation brand at that time, PlayStation 2, and then the Xbox came out, and for a few months I didn't bought it. But then I got ill, and while being ill I couldn't even take care of myself, so I was taken in by my brother at home. And at that time they actually were thinking about buying an Xbox for their children, so my nephews. And they were so enthusiastic, and in the meantime there were a few of the Sega games released on the Xbox, like Crazy Taxi 3, High Roller. And I was actually pretty stoked about having a new Crazy Taxi game. So yes, I also gave in and bought the Xbox. Soon the PlayStation was forgotten. No, not because it was a bad console, and I still have a ton of games for it, but the Xbox was not only so much better in every conceivable way, it was faster. The hard drive meant you could install games. There were already game extension, download DLC on the Xbox, but more importantly, you could finally for the first time play online actually the way as we're used to it now, with a headset in the controller. You could talk to each other. You could even change your voice in the old times and make it sound like a robot or something. That's what I still recall from it, but it has been ages ago. So I got into the Xbox a lot, and from that time, and then the 360 came, that perfected everything that the original Xbox did, and then some. So yeah, I was even more into Xbox. Then PlayStation came with a ridiculous price for the PlayStation 3. I didn't bought it, because also they removed the rumble function out of the controller, and not because of the reason that they told us they did this, like, yeah, we cannot have this anymore because of the motion controls and we wanted it to be perfect. The real reason was they didn't want to pay the license fee for the rumble engine motors that were in the controller. And later they were added and the price was reduced, and that was the time for me to get a PlayStation 3. So at that time Sony were making the bad mistakes and things that ruined the feel that you got with the brand, and Microsoft was reeling me in. Yes, I had a few Xboxes dying on the red ring of death, and I was not patient enough to wait for that to send it away and have it repaired. So yeah, I was stupid and impatient. I bought new ones, and so I funded Microsoft a bit more. The reason was simple. I had a ton of games. I don't know if it will show you if I go to my games and apps, because I think if I go to full library, you can also get own games. So yes, I can actually show you the own game. There's some updates to own games. As you can see, there are 443 games that I own. Yeah, there's some very cheap ones as well. The thing what I really love about the Xbox is the backwards compatibility. There are so much more games backwards compatible without paying. You even get FPS boost and whatever they did, and not to all the games, but the big games, like for instance Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, they were made so much better when the Xbox One X came out. And these patches for the Xbox One X, they run also on the Series X, not on the Series S. That was a big mistake from them, well, in my opinion. But the Xbox One X is exactly what I wanted from an Xbox console. But let me show you the boot up time of Grand Theft Auto. Play. And you will see that when I boot up the story mode, I was also pretty in the beginning of the story. And so the loading times should be the same. I don't have them next to each other, but well, you will see. You have a few demonstrations on the internet where they show you side by side, but I don't do this at here. As you can see, you get a bit more waiting time for the black screen, but other than that, it's mostly the same. Resume story now. And instead of having a counter, it only says entering story mode Music Maniac 1965. So they didn't have the time to make that same counter. But as you can see, it is really fast loading in the game. So we get a little bit more waiting time on that black screen. But booting in, yes, it wants an auto save though. So it really takes a bit longer time getting into that selection menu. Let's press pause because the music will get me into trouble. But loading into the game and also loading into online will be faster on the Xbox. Noticeably so, but to be honest, that doesn't change for me that I dislike playing it on the PlayStation compared to playing it on the Xbox. No, the loading speeds are so fast that even if it's noticeably faster, it's not like it takes too long, I can fetch myself a drink. Because before you're ready, when you got yourself your drink and you get something extras with it, then the loading will already be done. So it's no longer the case that you have to wait like close to 2 minutes for the Xbox 360 version to load in. What I actually was showing you during that comparison video, because I didn't only show you the graphical changes, I also showed in that video the changes to loading speeds. On the PlayStation, when you want to quit a game, you have to keep pressing the PlayStation button. You will automatically go to your main screen and then you can press start and say close game. In this case, the way Xbox does it is just press shortly on the Xbox button, select the game, press the start button and you can say quit. If you don't quit, but if you swap games, it will be in a special memory. And that means you can fast swap games and then loading times are even more faster. But I never do this because it does make your console, well, maybe they've improved it. I haven't tried it out as a matter of fact. But it made in the past, especially when the One X was first released, your console a bit less stable when it was coming to behavior. Not interesting. What I also want to show you is this. In the long time that both consoles, both the PlayStation and the Xbox came out, usually after a lot of updates to the system, the PlayStation would keep its speed, the Xbox would slow down, the shop would slow down, like I have the same problem with the Nintendo Switch now. And in this version, it's pretty fast. As you can see, yes, it took a little bit of time to load in the pictures, but I can quickly search through it. New games. And as you can see, There's hardly any waiting. You can just go through it like crazy. On the Switch, every time you get some empty blocks, it takes forever. And here you can faster scroll through them than you can browse in it for real, because you want to see what's new and what you might want to buy or download. So the Xbox, this new Xbox finally does it right. No matter the upgrades, no matter the updates, whatever they do to the system, it will keep its speed over time. And that's the first Xbox that I own that does this. Even my Xbox One X has lost its speed compared to when it was released. Let me boot up a game that I also did a playthrough on. According to ChatGPT, this version is smoother than the PlayStation version, so I will be playing through this one on the Xbox as well. And at the moment I've played through it 4 times in New Game Plus mode, and man, I've learned a lot more locations for extra missions, important upgrade mainboards for your gun. So maybe I will do a complete replay of this game. Now I do know how to play it. There's no more nervous me and getting into stress because I don't know what to do and how is he going to attack me, because I know every move, I know where to shoot, and I know my tactics now with the level bosses. And yes, your tactics playing it fair without the New Game Plus mode, where you have to collect all these upgrade points from start. Of course it will be more difficult than playing it in New Game Plus mode, but it's so much fun showing you what you can do in New Game Plus mode. You've already seen me stumbling through it in the playthrough, so it would be nice to do this one also on the PlayStation, because I finished it over there. Here I actually have to restart. I don't know where I left off, so let's see where I left off in here. I guess it will be at the end of the first part. Yes, so I was at the police station and you have to get back in here. We will soon see what I have to do. But as you can see, also in this game there are hardly any loading times. And yes, this is also on the PlayStation. So, and as you can see, isolated incident.
It'd be easier to burn it all to the ground.
So as you can see, the startup time is better. Let's see in what mode I am when it comes to graphics. Options. Yes, performance, because I do prefer performance over graphics. Especially on the PlayStation, even on the 5 Pro. There's a few points where the game chugs along. And the thing is, it's not always the case. I've played one time fair on the channel, you've seen my first playthrough. And after that, 4 more times in New Game Plus mode. And yes, you get the slowdown in the same stages, but not as severe every time. There's one time where it works reasonably well and it will recover. And there's also a time where you have to stop playing, reboot the game, start from that checkpoint where you left off and then continue. So, and since ChatGPT said that this version doesn't have this problem, I will have to try this. But I see that I've already am on the proper setting. So when I am going to restart it. Also, one advantage from the Xbox over the PlayStation, no, it's not the controller, because that they kept exactly the same as the Xbox version 1, the Xbox One version I mean, sorry, except for one extra button. And that's the button that the PlayStation already had. It's like a multimedia button where you can immediately make a screenshot or a recording. I cancelled that function because, yeah, I'm already running out of storage space and I don't want the game to auto-record, so I turned that off. So it's great from Microsoft that you do get the option to not automatically record things, but on the PlayStation I never pressed this button by accident, and on the Xbox, because the three buttons are so close to each other, I do it all the time, and so I had to shut this function off. But now, instead of being grumpy and telling you a downside of the Xbox, I will give you a plus side, and that is the pins, because you get way more pins than that the PlayStation will let you keep on the main menu from your boot up screen. And so my favorite game series I have over here. Hot Shots Racing, that is a cool game with almost, well, not almost, but it feels as smooth as Outrun when it comes to drifting, except for you don't have the shift drift mechanics. But I still love to play this because it has that virtual racing kind of graphics vibe, except for a lot more polygons on screen at once. And the gameplay vibe from Outrun and Burnout, because you even, or Ridge Racer, because you even collect boost and you can use that. But I will show you this one, which is working better on the Xbox when it comes to boot up speed than on the PlayStation, but not so much that you say, I don't want to play this on PlayStation anymore. But it's just nice to see that both consoles, they have their plus points and their minus points. There are some things that are great on them, or on the complete system, and how Microsoft does things like with the backwards compatibility. And so far I feel like the PlayStation has been given an update, because I don't know, but my feeling is saying this is taking longer. So sorry Microsoft, you ruined it somehow. It seems that PlayStation made some changes and now it works better. It's not too bad, but I was kind of expecting it to be quicker than the PlayStation version. Let's also load into the game from as far as I am. Well, I am further on the PlayStation because, yeah, I did finish the game also on the Xbox. Confirm load, yes. Let's see, because this is actually the more important load. Well, this music doesn't give you any problems because it doesn't represent copyrighted music. But yeah, never mind. So booting up the game until the menu takes long, going from the menu into the game, and so in other words also going into a mission is quicker. But did I also have... Oh, I actually didn't have the more stronger version. Can I get into... I want to know if I actually finished the story. So I need to find out a disguise booth and then choose the proper guy. Oh, that's over here. B.
This is too early for me.
Can I change him? Yes, I can. And let's see if we can. Oh, it's the police. I don't want to change the police. I actually... Yes, civilian. That's the one Or no, yes, you need to change the cop, because then he's more powerful and can open up some more stuff. So this one, I'm not mistaken. Yes, there it is. Rex Fury, because he's stronger, and now you can collect all the... Yes, do you want to? Yes. Why am I still not... Oh, wait a minute. Now I have him also on the Xbox. So let's save. Can you save from here, or does it? No, it will automatically do this. It doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't do it, I don't care. You've seen the loading times from this game, and now I will go through all my games that I have for the Xbox. And so you can request some games from here too. No, my games. And why is it still updated? Oh, I thought it was updating automatically. So you can update it. So I can go back to my games. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to go to full library. Own games. Yeah, I will not talk about each game in here, because there's so many games, even more than on the PlayStation. Then this video will last 2 hours or something like that. I actually didn't pay attention how long the other recording was, but well, as you can see, it's also nice that it sorts out that you got the backwards compatible version and the remaster. I thought I also had Arcade Stadium 2, but maybe I only bought that on the PlayStation. And as you can see, I have Crazy Taxi, and I can't remember if this version has the original music. I also have this on my Steam Deck, but there's a cracking group, I don't know, somebody made a patch for it so you can have the original music, the original stores where you had to go to, because yeah, Sega lost the license to all these things. And now I can finally do this. Now I want to say something, because I remember this. Daytona USA was also on the PlayStation. On the PlayStation 3, if I'm not mistaken. But this version, I don't know if it's on the PlayStation, so you can tell me. This version, when you play it on the Xbox One X or on the Xbox Series X, the draw distance when it comes to that the graphics remain sharp. On the original release on the 360, halfway through the screen, the white lines that make the driving lanes are getting fuzzy. And just like that you get to see in the modern games like Grand Theft Auto, where you see the pop-in of the shadows, the high quality. You even see that in the Indiana Jones game, where I show you this when I'm walking over that shadow, and you see the shadow being made better looking right in front of your nose. That was also happening with this. The thing is, even though this game didn't get a patch, it also improves this game's graphics, because now on the Xbox One X and the Series X, the draw distance and the sharpening works all over the screen. There's no more pop-in. I don't know how Microsoft did it, but that gets a big thumbs up from me. So yeah, it's not always bad when Microsoft makes a new console. And that's why I guess I am very tempted, even though I'm remaining mostly in the PlayStation ecosystem, I might still buy the new Xbox. Because there's a big chance that there are things that Sony doesn't do. And it's nice, especially now I have my gaming channel, it's nice to see and show you these differences. And I will do that, of course, with the game capture card, and not like this with the camera pointed towards the TV. And if you want to know, yeah, in my first video I already said it when I was presenting my channel and what I'm going to do, is the size of the TV. This is a 77-inch OLED screen from LG. It's the 77C3. And before that I had a 55G, I forget the number, but it was like, yeah, not in the 2025. It was, the TV was like 8 or 9 years old or something like that. And it got some burn-in marks. And they say they improved it on this TV. Also, even if I would buy myself a new one, even if I would want it, I cannot get a bigger screen than this. Otherwise, I can't get it from the street into my home, because it can't make the turn in my stairway. But there we go through the games some more. And as you can see, there's a lot of Grand Theft Autos, and this one I can't remember if I already did a video on it. So I will check through my videos on my channel. I want to do a video about this one. Why? Because the backwards compatibility is so good. This game never... Why? Why are you doing this to me? G, I was at the G. Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, so yeah, it's... Why are you putting me back? I will say what I want to say at the end, or when I'm scrolling through it. So I will slower go down, so you can press pause if you want to see some more. But when it comes to GTA 4, GTA 4 never get a frame rate cap. Well, it has a cap, but that's 60 FPS. Even the Xbox One X couldn't keep that frame rate. It was already better than on the Xbox One, but it wasn't as good as here. Now it will stay in 60 FPS locked. I haven't seen one dip, and that makes so much change to the game. It feels just so much better to play. The only better version will be the PC version after you got a lot of patches on it, because yeah, higher resolution, it will look much better than this one. But gameplay wise and the smoothness of the game, this is the best console version that you can play. I don't have this game on the PlayStation 3 version, and even if I would have it, I cannot check it on the PlayStation 5, because you will play this over the internet if you have the more expensive PlayStation Plus version. And as you can see in this list, there's so much Xbox 360 games in there. And that was them all. I want to see how far my upgrade is, but it looks like everything is done. Yes, everything is done. So sometimes you get a bit weird behavior from the Xbox as well. We had this on the PlayStation when I was loading into my gaming library once, and now we have it going through the gaming library on the Xbox. I guess it's the amount of games that gives you the problem. I don't know, maybe there are people with even more games than me, especially the collectors, but I don't know if, just like me, I will show you, when, if I'm not mistaken, it's with manage, yeah, storage devices. I also have that, there's 1 terabyte in here and 1 terabyte in here. And that's something that I really prefer on the PlayStation. I love it that it's the same speed though, so function wise it's awesome. So Microsoft gets a big thumbs up when it comes to how it works. But the thing is, PlayStation gives you the opportunity to just get a PC SSD on there. As long as it meets their criteria, it will work. So that means you can buy cheaper memory and get the same performance. So yeah, so Sony did something that in the past it was Sony, for instance with the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita, you get special memory cards that were more expensive to buy than the default SD cards that you can buy. And now Sony gives you the opportunity to get a cheaper way to upgrade your internal memory. And now it's Microsoft that's doing a Sony and gives you a special card to extend your SSD space. And if you want the 2 TB version, because if my memory serves me well, they have that too, you'll pay even more. And then the prices get so high that it almost feels like a better idea to just build yourself a gaming PC. But let's not dive into that. I'm definitely not a PC master race. I play games where I can, and if there are some games on a platform that I cannot play on the other, I'll just buy the platform and play it over there. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and we see each other in the next one. Goodbye.